Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for tuning in for day 2 of our training series. Today's event is going to be on Mars reporting, and what we're going to be discussing today is something very new to the application called Presentation Builder. And this is something that I've wanted to do in this application for years and years and years. And a little bit of the delay was due to technology, some of it was due to time, but I think that we've come up with some technology that can really be a nice core reporting platform for Mars going forward here. So what we're going to discuss is the concept of standard reports and then external content, and then I'm going to show you how to build presentations using the report or the presentation builder content at various reporting levels. Once we get our heads around building a presentation, which really doesn't take much thought at all because it's very simple, I'm going to show you how you can operate batch processing. Normally, or the way that you're running reports right now, you're pretty much doing it on a one-off or an ad hoc type of basis with one portfolio or one client at a time. But the batch processing will allow you to basically run your whole book of business if you'd like to. And then finally, we're going to wrap up today with another new module called Asset Allocation Review. While asset allocation isn't an old concept in Mars, the ability to have an interface where you can reallocate dollars and then have a resulting asset allocation come out of it is a new feature that is going to be in the new version of Mars that you'll be receiving shortly. And then finally, we'll wrap up with a Q&A session just like we did yesterday. So before I begin and show you the presentation builder in action, I want to discuss with you a couple of terms here. First of all, standard reports. Standard reports is a library of reports which are supplied with the Mars application, and they are fully supported by us. When I talk about external content, this is a library of presentation pages that you may add to the system, and you would maintain those on your own. Currently, we have support for PowerPoint and Word presentation pages, with Excel coming very soon. It's currently in the debug/testing phase. And then there's the Presentation Builder interface, which allows you to build presentations based upon any combination of the standard reports and external content pages contained in the library. So you can put these in any page order you like. Your reports can be 100% standard reports, 100% external reports. It really doesn't matter. So the first thing we're going to talk about here is the report configuration and the things that you need to know about that. You can get to report configuration from the Tools menu and then select Report Configuration. Standard reports, I will allow you to change the page titles of the reports, the report descriptions, and some of the processing note fields. You can also hide any of the standard reports from the interface if they're not practical. So, for example, we have 3 different types of performance attribution reports. We've got one set that'll run using standard GIC sectors. We've got another set that could run off of custom sectors, and got another set of reports that will run off of style codes. So, for example, if you're only going to use GIC sectors, and you've got no use for style and custom, you can just omit the style and custom reports, and they won't show up in your report builder interface. A couple of rules about external content. It's the best way to start is to use one of our blank content pages as the starting point for your presentations. These have been pre-formatted to work properly within the reporting framework, meaning all of your content pages basically get imported or linked into Excel, and that my Excel reports have certain page margins. And if you use our content templates for Word, PowerPoint, and Excel, you're guaranteed that that your report or your external content is going to fit correctly into my master template. Currently, each external content page may only consist of a single page document. For example, if you've got a PowerPoint presentation that contains 20 slides, you're going to need to break that down into 20 individual pages as opposed to linking in a 20-page presentation. We may relax this requirement in the future, but we need to do some further testing because we found some issues with the page numbering and the number of LinkedIn pages that we can get to operate correctly. So anyway, for now, as you're adding your external content, please keep it to one slide per file, if you would. So now we're going to open up the Mars application. We're going to go to Tools, Report Configuration. And you see that we've got two tabs here. We've got Standard Reports and we've got My Content. Okay? If I minimize this here, this is basically all of the reporting collateral that currently exists within Mars right now. And you can see that I've got it broken out into multiple categories. We've got title pages, which are basically the opening page of a presentation. You may or may not elect to have a title page. It's not required, or you could use an external page as your title page. Then we've got executive summaries, and executive summaries normally look something like this, where it's basically a high-level overview of portfolio activity. Then we've got a section of reports that we call consolidated, and these are primarily your client level reporting kind of views. So you've got your client level, and then the consolidated bit then breaks down the parts that make up the entire client or portfolio. Next section of reports here are performance reports, and this is everything that basically has to do with performance that is not considered consolidated. So when we're talking about performance, we're talking about something like this, a historical performance graph, maybe calendar returns, rolling returns. This is also where you'll find your risk analysis reports, your peer group reports, anything basically to do with historical returns and historical returns versus a benchmark. We then have a section here of asset allocation reports, and we've got two different types of asset allocation reports. We've got the standard ones that are displaying your asset allocation versus a target or perhaps a historical asset allocation. And then we've got another group below this one, which is called asset allocation rebalancing. And this is the new module that is actually an interface that will allow you to go in and key in a change in the portfolio allocation, and it would drive a new portfolio allocation for you. And so the asset allocation or rebalancing reports will report on that functionality. Then we start getting down into performance attribution, and as I alluded to earlier, we've actually got four different kinds of performance attribution. We've got it by sector, we've got it by a custom type of coding field, we've got it by style, and then we're also now able to start doing long-short analysis. Then down here towards the bottom, we get into our holdings type of reports. These would be your securities owned, top 10 holdings by sector or style, and then we've got some fixed income reports, and then your transaction reports are basically your income and expense, your purchases and sales, and your realized gain and loss reports. And then finally down here is the section called external content, and if you, I want to give you guys a couple of concepts here. First of all, we've got what we call external content within the page frame. And what that means, if you take a look at this orange area here, your external content would basically merge into here, and you would supply a page header up at the top. So it would basically reside underneath the header area and on top of the footer area. If you were to select full page content, it would basically take up the entire page without using the Mars reporting frame. So let me unhide a couple of these areas here. I've got a couple more points that I want to make for you here. Each of these reports are able to run at various portfolio levels, and we discussed this yesterday. So, for example, this particular presentation or report page that I've selected here, tab number 100, this can be run at the portfolio level, the client level, or the relationship or grouped level. If you didn't want this report to show up in the user interface, you would simply go and edit it, and you would click Hide in the Interface. Okay? So currently, I will allow you to edit the page title. So let's say that you hated the description executive summary. You could name it Portfolio Snapshot. And so if you name it Portfolio Snapshot, that would be the name of the report that comes in on when the presentation gets rendered. I would like you to stay away from modifying the tab ID, the data tab ID, and the connections. These are all critical fields for the automation of the report. We are going to deliver the presentation builder with report descriptions and processing notes. You can edit these as you like. But like I said, these three middle fields here, tab ID, data tab ID, and connections, please don't touch. Okay? Now, the second tab here is the My Content tab. All right? And My Content is basically, these are your external pages. And I've got a few that are set up here. I've got an economic review that I borrowed from a client. I've got some glossaries of terms, meeting agendas, things like that, and I'll show you how this works. But basically, if you wanted to create or add a page into the content library, all you would do is you'd go to the My Content tab, you'd click Add, you'd type C for client. We would say that it's going to fit into the page frame. We're going to call this Bob's Report Builder Demo. And we would then go out into our database or our, out onto your disk, and you could then go and select a page. So I'll just select one of these, and I'll click Save, and you see that it then comes into your library of content that you can use in the application. If you notice back here on the standard report page, I have selected, or I have included a screenshot of what the output report looks like, and that'll kind of help you in building your reports. You can also do this with your own content, and you can go over to image, and if you've got an image of your report, you can just click here, select your image file, and link it into the content library. That may or may not be overkill for you guys, but you will at least know that I will have report images for the Cainsoft content. So if I click through here and you look up in the right corner, you can get sort of a preview of what these various reports look like. And so basically what I've done here when we built the core library is I have gone through all of the reports, custom reports, and everything that I've done for all of our clients, and I've basically put it all together into one master template, and then we've applied the automation to that. So pretty much everything that is out in the wild today as far as Mars reporting is now available in this master template, and this is going to be the technology that I'm using going forward.